10 o'clock and it's time for the council to be in session. We have Ms. Goldberg, Ms. Mistakowski, Mr. Pacheco. We have 4 members. We need 6 more for the quorum. It's 10 minutes after 10, and we have Mrs. Goldberg, Ms. Misakowski, Mr. Pacheco, Mr. Savornich. We have 5 members present. And we have Mrs. Chick. We have 6 members present. We need 4 more for a quorum. Mr. Holden, Mrs. Walters, Ms. Galanter, Mr. Holden, Ms. Galanter, Ms. Walters is here. We have 9 members. We need 1 for a quorum. Okay, call the roll.
Brinson, Chick, Pure, Galanter, Goldberg, Hernandez, Holden, Miskowski, Pacheco, Padilla, Ridley, Thomas, Svornich, Wax, Walters, Ferraro, 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Okay, council will please come to order. This is a meeting of the City Council for the City of Los Angeles on the 11th day of August 1999. There are 15 council districts in the city. The regular meeting days are Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We are currently being viewed by cable subscribers throughout the Los Angeles area on Channel 35, and we're also being monitored by council phone. The first order of business.
Approval of the minutes.
All right, Mrs. Chick moves, Mr. Holden second. If there's no objections, unanimous vote. The next item,
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
if there are no objections, unanimous vote. The next item,
Before beginning the regular agenda, you have several items to continue. Item number 1, the applicant consents to continuance to February 11th, 2000.
February 11th, 2000. Wow. Okay. Okay, if there's no objections, that will be the order.
Item number 8, Councilmember Fuhr requested that be continued to August 18th.
To August 18th. If there's no objections, unanimous vote. Yeah, 2001.
Item number 20, Councilmember Galanter requests that be continued to September 8th.
Which one's that?
Item number 20.
If there's no objections, unanimous vote.
Item number 33, Housing Department requests that be continued August 18th.
If there's no objections, unanimous vote.
And the closed session, item number 52, the city attorney requests that be continued to Friday, August 13th.
Okay, if there's no objections, that will be continued until Friday. Unanimous vote. Okay, the next item,
You have a confirmation of city officials, item number 6, confirmation of reappointment of Helene V. Smukler.
Helene, would you take the center? This is a reappointment. Is there any discussion on this? Outstanding commissioner. Seeing none, prepare the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 eyes.
I was going to move it, but it's okay.
Helene, you've
For
been...
the record, I think there's an E on the end of your first name, isn't it?
Yes,
Helene.
Yeah.
I pronounced it right.
No, it's in the
Yeah, I know
record
it.
wrong.
I know it. And Helene, thank you for serving the city. Forthwith on that item. Next item,
Item number 7, confirmation of Jean H. Kim to the Police Permit Review Board panel.
this is another reappointment. Mr. Kim, any discussion on this one? If not, prepare the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 eyes.
Thank you, sir.
Jean Kim, you've been reappointed. Thank you for serving the city.
Thank you.
Forthwith.
I did, yes.
Show Mr. Burnson is in the council chamber, so he voted on that too. Next item,
Item number 21, confirmation Robin R. Hughes to the Environmental Affairs Commission.
item 21. This is a reappointment. Any discussion on this reappointment? If not, prepare the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
Robin, you've been reappointed, and thank you for serving the city.
Thank you.
Next item,
Next items are required public hearing items. Item number 2, I believe you have cards.
okay, we have Steve Mullenkoff and C. Edward Denham.
My name is Edward Dilks,
Oh, Dilk.
and I don't write very well.
No, you sure don't. You gotta,
The card that I submitted, sir, was for purposes of item number 2. I represent the local community in that item, and if it be put over to them. As to that item, the community no longer has any opposition to the tentative track map and recommends approval.
okay, does Steve want to be heard or not?
Mr. Markoff is here representing the people in his neighborhood.
Okay.
I think what we'd really like to do is to thank Councilwoman Mizakowski for leadership in helping negotiate this to a solution. It was just a
Okay.
pleasure working with her.
Thank you, Ed. We'll have Ms. Sikowski speak now.
I would be happy to ask the chairman as well to, and appreciate his efforts in helping give us the time to get this resolved. This is a track map in Pacific Palisades. The community became involved, and the question was really just a question of what the appropriate unit number should be. And we have resolved it and are granting in part, recommending granting in part the appeal to allow a track map to be approved, but with 3 units consistent with essentially the neighborhood layout and design rather than 5. The only thing I would like to do is offer a verbal amendment. The Planning Committee had asked that the Planning Department, the advisory agency, modify some of the conditions to appropriately reflect the changes, and I would like to verbally make sure and ask, since I'm seeing attached to the report the conditions as were not amended, and in particular, all references to private street should be changed to a reference to community driveway in the conditions of approval. And condition 14E, which talked about replacing an existing wood retaining wall in the channel, be deleted. The wood retaining wall and modifications to that is fine, but there should not be designed a new concrete retaining wall. So with those changes and any others that are necessary to reflect the modifications for the 3 units, I would ask that the City Council approve the Planning Committee report.
Okay, we have item number 2 before us as amended. Prepare the roll. Tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
That is approved. Next item.
Item number 3 is the public hearing.
We have no cards. Anybody want to be heard on item number 3? Huh? Yeah, well, we are expecting 12, so we'll hold this. No one wants to be heard. The public hearing is closed. We'll hold it on the desk until we have 12 members. Next item.
Items 4 and 5 are public convenience or necessity in Council District 6.
Let's wait for Ms. Galanter to come on these, because we need a motion on those. Yeah.
To continue item 47, letter G, for 1 week.
Is there any objections to that? Seeing none, 47G.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, 4 and 5 we'll hold on the desk, call that special. Next item.
Next item, items for which public hearings have been held, items 9 through 19.
All right, any specials by council members, 9 through 19? Any specials?
Item 12, Mr. President.
Mr. Hernandez calls 12 special. Any others? 18 is called special. Any others? Okay, then we have 9 through 19 with the exception of 12 and 18. Prepare the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
Those are approved forthwith on 19. Next items.
Items for which public hearings have not been held, items 21 through 51.
21 we already acted on. 22 through 51, we have cards on 36. We'll call that special. Item 50 be referred to Information and Technology. If there's no objection, that will be the order on item 50. And we have a request to receive and file 32. There's no objection, that will be received and filed. We have ordinances on 22 and 23. We'll hold those on the desk. 23, as I just said, we're going to hold it on the desk. Okay. Yeah, we need to wait for 12 members. That's right, Mr. Holden. You're getting better. 48 is called special. So let's see, we have 24 through 30, 31, 34, 35, 37 through 45, 46, A through F on 47, and 49 and 51. Prepare the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
Those are approved. Next item.
On the continued agenda, item number 53.
Well, we'll hold that on the desk because we have, that's an ordinance.
Item number 54 on the continued agenda.
Any discussion on item 54? Item 54 is called special. Okay, now we go back. Next item.
Item number 12, called special by Councilmember Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, you called 12 special?
Mr. President, I did, and I don't know if there's anybody here from the department on this item. Good. Members of the council, this is not a big item. We're talking about $21,000 that basically was designated for purposes of replacement of horses in the equestrian unit, and now is being transferred over to the communication for purpose of communication equipment. The reason I wanted to ask some questions is I had a meeting with the foundation dealing with the equestrian unit, and at the time, they basically were telling me they needed funding to be able to purchase horses for the department. And so since then, I've been working with them to try and raise funds for that purpose, and I'm committed to help them do that. I've also felt that the city should have a commitment to purchase horses for the equestrian unit. And so I was confused because that activity has been happening just recently, and I've been working hard in that direction. And then I saw this report, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Ray Holloman, Commanding Officer, Fiscal Operations Division. We totally agree that the equestrian program needs to have some financial support. We have included that in our budget for several fiscal years, and it has never been funded. We put it into this spa expenditure plan basically as a reaction to the fact that there was no budgetary funding, and subsequent to putting it into the plan, we discovered that the replacement of equipment and specifically horses is precluded by federal guidelines related to the use of asset forfeiture money. So that's why we're reprogramming it into an area where we have a need that does fall within the federal guidelines. With respect to the acquisition of horses this year, usually what we do is come up with an interim source of funding. That is becoming increasingly more challenging because of the tightness of our budget, but we are committed to identifying some funds to acquire some additional horses this year, and we will be asking for a horse replacement program, if you will, as part of our budget submittal for 2000-2001.
And so the reason of this reprogramming is it's not eligible for the federal funds that
Exactly,
we're
yes,
receiving,
sir.
or the asset forfeiture funds.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thank you for that clarity. That helps me understand it better, and I want to put an emphasis on all my colleagues. I use some of my office, my general funds to basically, I made a small donation in that direction. I encourage each of us to do that. Anything we can help with the equestrian unit and the police department, I think, is making a difference. And we just passed a motion that allows them to generate some of the monies from the sales of horses to stay in for purposes of the unit. But it's an area where the police department needs some assistance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Heard on this item, 12? If not, prepare the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
Those are approved. Ms. Galanter's office is called, and she approves of granting 4 and 5. So Mr. Burnson moves on those. Any discussion? If not, prepare the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
Those are approved. Next item.
Item number 18, called special by Councilmember Goldberg.
Ms. Goldberg?
I'm embarrassed to admit I actually voted on this the first time without asking this question, but I will ask it today. Is someone here?
The city attorney who drafted the ordinance is out sick today.
Okay, it's not a legal, well, it is, it's just a question of, it says we are eliminating a duplicate appeal to the Department of Building and Safety, where the ZA, the BZA, or the Planning Commission or City Council has already made a decision. I didn't know there was an appeal after that. What was the appeal after that that we're eliminating?
I think there currently is an appeal process that they go through, and it makes the procedure fairly long, and so the council had asked the city attorney to draft this ordinance to do this, so
What appeals then do people have
they can appeal,
if this passes, when this passes?
they still have their appeal to building and safety.
Okay, and they can appeal to the council?
No, that's what this is saying. It says there shall be no administrative The department will have the power to enforce any administrative nuisance abatement determination made by the ZA, the BZA, the council, or the commission. So once it has come to the council,
Right.
then the building and safety department goes ahead and...
Okay, so after it hits the council, there are no more appeals, is what this says?
That's right.
Fine. I just lost the stream there, and before I voted on the second and final consideration, I thought I better know what I was voting on. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have item 18 before us. Prepare the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 eyes.
That is approved. We now have 12 members, so we have item 3, 22, and 23.
I think Mr. Holden wanted to call 23 special.
Was it 23 you wanted to call special, Mr. Holden? Mr. Holden, did you want to call 23 special? Huh? Okay, well, let's vote on 3 and 22 and 53. Prepare the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 eyes.
Those are approved. The next item would be 23, right?
Right. Yes, Mr. President.
All right, Mr. Holden, you called.
Maybe the personnel department, or whoever it is, could give us a report on 23, Mr. President, as relates to these vacations and life insurance benefits for general managers, et cetera. I think we need a little explanation, because you're going from 3 weeks vacation right away to 160 hours, 168 hours after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, up to 5 years, get 200 hours. They won't be doing any work at all. So maybe you can explain that to me. And they're getting free life insurance coverage. It's called flexible life benefit plan, and I want to know what you mean by that. Bi-weekly, they get about $16, $32 a month, and if they have a spouse who works here, the spouse can cover them, then they get paid extra money. So would you explain that to us, please?
Mary Higgins from the CAO's office. These benefits are already available to general managers and to assistant general managers who are not represented. The goal of this report and ordinances is to equalize the benefits between represented and non-represented benefits, or employees.
Well, I don't understand what you're talking about. If somebody comes to work here, they work 2 years, for the first year, they get 2 weeks vacation, correct? Yes.
Yes,
Okay. And then how many years they have to be here before they can get 3 weeks vacation?
5 years.
5 years. And 4 weeks vacation. 20 years?
I believe it's 20 years.
Okay, then what are we doing here? Are we giving this class more benefits than the ones who are being here 5 years and 20 years?
This,
That would only apply to new hires at the chief level or higher. For existing individuals at that level or higher, they would just accrue benefits at the same rate as our assistant GMs and GMs who are brought into the
Are they
system.
getting more privileges and more benefits than we pay the average employee who comes to work here, yes or no?
There will be
Yes.
very few employees from the inside who would actually receive more vacation. Very few people enter city service or promote to these levels without at least 20 years of service. The impetus for this was the recruitment efforts that we're doing from outside employees who have long-term careers in other places, and we're not willing to come here and have to wait for a number of years in order to receive
I
additional
know,
vacation
but we're going to pay them
benefits.
to work and not to be on vacation. You can have that in an agreement on a case-by-case basis when they come aboard. Their salaries could be directly proportional to how much time they get it, and also the flexible benefits, which we're not even talking about. I'm just going to have to vote no.
Mr. Goldberg?
The effect of this ordinance is to equalize for people who come in new the existing package for people who are already here, not to give them greater benefits. I understand that, but they've been somewhere else 20 years, and if we're not going to be willing to recruit from the outside, if we don't want to recruit from the outside, then we should make that statement. I mean, and some of us, you know, would say, okay, I guess, and others would not. But the point is, we do recruit from the outside. When you recruit from the outside, and you ask somebody who has been 20 or 30 years somewhere else to change and move here because we need their expertise or talents, or we believe we do, then you cannot say to them, and by the way, you'll have to start as if you'd never worked anywhere else before, because part of how they got to be able to come in at that high a level is because we're taking advantage of the experience they got somewhere else. And this is simply equalizing the situation for new hires at a very high level who have had this type of experience other places. And I think that it's an appropriate thing to do. I don't think you should be advantaged from coming from the outside, but I also don't think you should be disadvantaged from coming from the outside. And I think that this accomplishes that.
Okay, Mr. Holden,
Like,
you got your vacation when you came over from the county?
no, I did not.
Oh, okay.
And,
You have a constant vacation.
well, actually, some of these people would also, because if they're in charge, they adjust things to suit. For an example, Legislative Analyst 5, that's not a top-level job, that's not the very top. You have a Risk Management 3, a Workers' Compensation Administrator 2. Come on. They're going to be inside anyway. You're not going to recruit them from the outside. You talking about helping people who are already here. You got an ethics assistant. Yeah, executive officer of the City Ethics Commission. All right, they're already here. Executive assistant, city attorney. I can see that. But some of these that are on here, you have ethics officer number 3. Come on, what is that?
We identify classifications at the level of chief or
I know
division
that's-
chief and above, but existing staff will not receive additional benefits at this point in time. They'll accrue vacation benefits.
Existing
at a
staff will
different
not
rate.
receive it?
No, they will not.
The ones who are already hired and
They
aboard?
will, they'll accrue vacation benefits at a
Yeah.
different rate.
Well, I
They
just
do
know
not-
one of those guys you brought out here, you shouldn't give him anything, so I'm going to vote no on him.
It has, as stated earlier, presented problems in recruiting qualified staff, exceptionally qualified staff, at the chief level.
A good salary, a good position, when they take the job.
All right, Ms. Galanter?
I move the previous question.
Okay. I think that's, everybody was finished talking, so the previous question has been posed. So we have the ordinances on 23. Mr. Holden is going to vote no, so it'll go over 1 week. Forthwith on 22. Next item.
Item number 36 has cards.
Yes, we have Anna Bashara on item 36. Did you? Would you pull that microphone down and tell us what your,
Honorable President, Honorable all the one and respectable, I am a single woman, and what happened, if you want me to tell you, it will be horrible. The people, we don't have access to their properties. They are fighting. I have a bunch of cards of police and sergeant and sheriff. And I sacrifice all my time since 8 o'clock till 11 in the evening to make peace. The manager and his wife were frightened. The handyman left. And now I'm trying to deal with a company to manage the property. And I'm not saying anything. I put the blame on the building and safety inspector. They have to know better than we do. And I respect the authority. I respect Mr. Jean Ferraro, the president. He all his life and other, Goldberg, Hernandez, and on and on. I respect everyone and I obey for everything they do ask me. But please back us. Please be with us. We are afraid from our tenant today. Since 38 years I am in the business. I never had what I'm having. They frighten me, they pump me, we call I don't want to say. It means help us. And now I'm afraid to go to the building. I have an example. A man who stopped his job yesterday to finish the work in apartment number 6. She made him lunch, she gave him food, and on, to stop to end the work like that the inspector will see it. And I have hard way to get access to not everybody, 3 apartments. And those 3 apartments are not paying rent, and I have a big loan. I have 10,000 DWP bill and gas and on and other. Anyway, I ask you, the President and honorable and respectable people, to feel with me and to feel with the other people like me. I never stopped. I have handyman, I have electrician, I have a plumber. When the inspector came, the electrician was there, the plumber was there, the handyman and the manager. They were saying this, we changed all the smoke detector. They were bad, they were good, but we put new one. I changed all the faucet. I changed everything to please the inspector. And it seems the one I don't have access, and they did it on purpose to have their money. Please give them chance to get out of the property. They rented, number 6 rented 1 with her daughter. Now they are 4 and 5. It is residential. They are making flowers. They sell flowers, and they don't care for me, and they don't care. They raise the rent or anything. I never raised the rent on them. I didn't do anything. I used to please them. When she came, she was illegal, and I didn't say nothing to hurt her. Now, what you want me to do, It is up to you to decide.
All right.
Yesterday, I did what I can. What I can, I'm doing everything request through me. The other, I don't know. Thank you, Mr. the President,
All right,
and thank you, all of you.
Thank you. We have somebody from the department here on this item. Would you please explain this?
Mr. President, this is an issue where the tenant in unit number 6 has requested the return of escrow funds that the tenant has deposited into the program. She's requesting these funds to relocate to another facility due to the property being continually out of compliance.
Is that the case?
That's the case.
What is the problem there? Mr. Please, you made your plea. What is the problem?
Electrical problems and many other violations on the property.
How many units in there? There'll be at least more than 6 or more.
I didn't bring the file with me, but I believe I think it's about 6 units. But this particular tenant is in unit number 6. She has made 11 payments to the escrow funds. I'd also like to note that there is a 48-hour urgent repair order on the property as of recent, and the property remains out of compliance, and the tenant is just merely asking for the return of $2,667 to be returned to her so she can relocate.
How much rent is that what she has paid?
She had been paying a reduced rent because of the rent reduction, and initially her rent was $450, and because of the rent reduction, she is now paying $292.50 per month. I beg pardon?
6 months. How long?
We also like to note that there's a $50 payment, administrative fee that is retained by the city.
But how long, this $2,600 is, that's 10 months or more?
The tenant has made 11 payments into the program.
11 payments. And is that a normal, the ability to get all of that money back because she's going to move?
Yes, she does have other family members. If it was just one person, it would be $2,000, but she is allowed up to $5,000 for relocation assistance, so we do base it on the fact that she has made she does have $2,600 to be returned to her.
But she wants to move.
Yes, the tenant does want to move.
But she's not being forced to move.
No, she is not.
So is there a difference?
It's just that, I beg pardon? But we do have the return of escrow account. So she's just merely asking to be relocated.
Okay. So you're recommending that we approve this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, prepare the roll. Tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 1 no.
That is approved. Next item.
Item number 48, called special by Council Member Chick.
Mrs. Chick?
Yes, colleagues, a motion is before us that will be going to the Government Efficiency Committee. I'm sure that you're all aware from time to time we have actions in council where we are donating surplus equipment, cars to other cities for the mere cost of $1. And I feel that the city is potentially giving away and losing out on millions of dollars a year. While I know it's important that we make charitable contributions, I think it's equally important, if not more important, that we make sure that we are maximizing scarce taxpayer dollars. And so I am asking for some very basic questions to be answered and for us to formulate a very clear policy and strict guidelines before we are giving away further salvage equipment and surplus vehicles. The questions are as follows. Are we effectively using salvage and old materials to maximize tax dollars? Are we certain that there aren't needs within our own city that can be met with the kinds of materials that we are now selling off for $1? Should we supplement the inventories of other municipalities when it's our taxpayer dollars that have originally paid for the equipment that we are giving to other government entities? Is the city really benefiting from these transfers and donations? We have to put those strict guidelines into place, colleagues. I urge that we do that and disallow any further transfers to other entities, donations to nonprofits until we have some sensible guidelines in place to make sure that we're doing this in the most correct, most cost-effective way, and one that respects the Los Angeles taxpayer dollars should be spent in our own city. Thank you.
Mr. Holden?
Mr. President, members, we don't donate any of surplus property for $1 or for any amount unless it's a vote of the council to do so. Ms. Chick, she's not listening. But the fact of the matter is that we usually come to the rescue of the so-called third world countries when they have been affected by some disaster, storm, hurricane, flooding condition, and they may need some equipment that we have in storage and mothballs someplace. And that has happened. I know that when I was first elected, we had a lot of surplus traffic control boxes sitting over in the warehouse, taking up space at a cost to the taxpayers. And when Jamaica was hit by that hurricane and everything was ripped out, we were very proud and pleased to give them the kind of support that they needed at that time in terms of the Essex traffic control signals, and they put them back in place and put a lot of time and money into it, and they paid for the transporting of it to that country. I know in Mexico where they've had earthquakes and problems like that, Alatorre and others have introduced motions. So it's been working for the good. I don't know.
This is just a review, and really, she really shouldn't have called it, but she wanted to make her speech, and so it's going to come back, Mr. Holden.
I just want
and
to
you can go to the committee and make your piece.
Mr. President, I just wanted to just give both sides to the point that was being made.
Well,
thank you.
I should reprimand her for talking on it, but it was just okay. Yeah. When you're going to send it to committee? Okay, then maybe Mr. Holden will show up at the committee. Okay, prepare the roll on 48. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
That is approved. Forthwith on that, so Mrs. Chick can get it quickly. Next item.
Next item is number 54. However, DOT staff is on their way, and they asked that that be held on the desk.
Yeah, Mr. President, we can do that, or I actually can answer the questions. Is Ms. Galanter here? One of us can probably answer the questions.
But Mr. Holden called it special.
Okay. I'm saying whatever questions he has, we can probably answer, or we can wait. The traffic thing.
Mr. Holden, you want to ask some questions on the 54?
I'm trying.
Well, then we'll all adjourn, and you can stay here and wait for
Give whatever he has, give it to me now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
Mr. Savornich is chair of this committee. Maybe he can answer the questions for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we haven't.
Mr. President, the questions can easily be answered.
Huh?
We can answer the questions. Let's just do it now.
Well, he wants to talk to the department.
Mr. President, there was an agreement between Fox and the city of Los Angeles when they built that, as some would then, who voted against it, called it a monstrosity out there. And they talked about the fact that it would be traffic congestion in the area, and Fox had an agreement with the city to provide the funding to mitigate the traffic impact that would be caused by the project. And the Department of Transportation is aware of those details. Because I don't think that the others who are not going to talk was here at the time that the deal was cut. So I don't know how you're going to tell me that you can speak on behalf of the department. I want to ask some questions. You're talking about $500,000, fine, that's fine. But that's for traffic mitigation plans for the various communities. That's fine, but if it causes to be built, traffic control signals, other kinds of work to be done, that was to be paid for by Fox. Now the question is, can you tell me whether or not is Fox going to pay for the total mitigation, yes or no, in those various neighborhoods? Well, go ahead and try to do that. You were here when the vote took place.
Okay.
That didn't affect your district. I think you voted no on that.
Then who wants to talk first, Ms. Galanter or Mr. Fuhrer? Ms. Galanter.
Right now.
Mr. Holden is correct that the deal that was negotiated by Mr. Yaroslavsky at the time, who represented the area that is now in Mr. Fuhrer's district and in my district, that's affected by this, did include a major commitment by Fox to pay for the traffic mitigation. And indeed, we have been spending that money over the course of the last several years with the active participation of both council offices and a whole series of neighborhood groups in the affected area. So the answer to your basic question is yes, Fox is spending the money. We are spending Fox's money.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Mr. Holden? Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to share with you, the Fox, pursuant to the arrangement you described, put $500,000 into a kitty to be drawn down by the city for the neighborhood protection plans to which you refer. The motion before us is to pay out of the money that Fox sequestered for improvements in the neighborhood, in the neighborhoods that were affected. So we're simply transferring money that Fox put into the till into the hands of the various departments associated with the work.
Well, the reason why I raised the question is because you're putting up for 5 neighborhood traffic management plans. That's fine.
Right.
That's the $500,000.
Right.
They'll be working overtime to do this. I have no problem with that. What I have a question about is, coming out of this plan, development plan, you're going to talk about the need, and they're going to expand enlarge their operation out there. That's what they're really going to do.
No, they're putting in physical changes.
Well,
like speed humps and double line striping and changing signal
but Fox
timing.
is increasing its development. That's what it says here, I believe.
Right, no, the Fox expanded.
Right. They expanded there, which means then you need more traffic mitigation because you're going to have more cars coming in.
Right.
And now my question is, who's going to pay for the traffic signals once it's determined that you need additional traffic signals in addition to the 5 neighborhood traffic management plan? Who's going to pay for that? Is the department going to come in and say, we're going to use city money now to supplement what Fox is doing?
Got it. Okay.
That's what I needed to know.
Fair enough. And the department is here to answer any questions that
We
you
have-
have. I thought they could do it, but if not, they're right.
We have the department here, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Fuhrer. Thank you, Ms. Galanter.
We really appreciate the watchdog that Mr. Holden is being to make sure that they live up to their agreement.
That's what term limits will do, Mr. President. You'll get rid of that.
Hi, I'm John Fisher, Assistant General Manager with the Department of Transportation. The motion before you asks that we use monies that have been deposited into the trust fund to use in the Cheviot Hills area to mitigate impacts of the Fox development. These were monies that Fox deposited into the trust fund, so we are merely using the monies that they have deposited to implement the physical improvements, striping, signing, and traffic signal improvements. This motion was approved by the council last fiscal year, but because we didn't draw down on the monies and we were delayed a little bit in implementing the improvements, the money reverted at the end of the fiscal year. So this is simply a revisit of that same motion that was approved last fiscal year.
I know, but you heard my question. My question is, you're going to need maybe to improve the ADSAC in the area if it's not already there. You may need additional traffic signals and no stop signs. That won't cost us that much. Speed humps won't cost that much. But the fact of the matter is that there's no indication here that you may need additional traffic signal or to improve ADSAC in the area. If that's the case, will Fox be paying for that? when they expand or enlarge their facility?
The improvements being contemplated here are signal revisions, striping changes, and signing modifications to restrict access into the residential communities by commuter traffic.
I understand, but what if more is needed than what you have? I mean, in terms of the $500,000, you might need, department could need more money. I mean, one traffic signal is about $60,000, $70,000, if you need that. You're talking about 5 communities, 5 neighborhoods. Anyway, you don't have the answer?
Well, I guess I didn't understand the question. We do have another
I'm
development.
saying $500,000 is not enough, is what I'm saying.
Well, the motion here would transfer $190,000.
That's surely not enough.
If your question is, was the deal that was struck, did the deal that was struck provide sufficient funds to do everything necessary for traffic mitigation? The answer was, I'm sure Ms. Galanter and I would prefer to have more money with which to do those improvements. Everybody in the neighborhoods would too. But we are living with the consequences of the prior action. That's how much money is there. Fox is making these payments. We all wish there were more money there, but given that what the limitations are, this is the best action to take.
That was not the agreement.
Bukowski, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to try to answer Mr. Holden, I am certain that the $500,000 that was put into this account for neighborhood protection or local neighborhood transportation management is not the entirety of the money that Fox had to put in. Fox had to put in a significant another amount of money to deal with the major mitigations on the major highways where there were shown absolute impacts that they had to mitigate. This is over and above all of that. So when you put in ATSAC, when you put in all the other signalization that is required just of the project on the major boulevards, the problem is that the city had never been spending as much attention to those relatively minor in comparison, but very important to quality of life in the neighborhoods. So this was over and above all the others. So this is not saying that all that Fox had to do is $500,000. What they had to do, in addition to everything else, which was fairly significant, was this $500,000 to be worked out with the department, with the specific neighborhoods, to make sure that the traffic from Fox would go through the major intersections to the freeway, to wherever they're going, and not through the neighborhoods. So this is a specific amount focused on a very different kind of analysis and a very different kind of transportation assistance that is different from the other, but the other is still significant, still out there, and Fox has had to pay its fair share for anything, in fact, more than its fair, it has had to pay for everything that it would cause that it had to mitigate, and that's in addition to this.
Ms. Akasi, that is not correct. I represent part of the area, so does Mr. Fuhrer on South Robinson, and you have to come to our district to learn what they're complaining about, these management plans and non-compliance by Fox, and the fact the department is not demanding that they comply with the agreement that they made. So, I mean, you can talk about Fox should have done this and did that, but you don't know the facts. I represent the area, and they have not done what they agreed to do.
All right, Mr. Savornich? Mr. Savornich moves the previous question. Prepare the roll on the previous question. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
That is approved. Now we have item 54. Prepare the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
That is approved. Next item.
You have a special motion presented by Councilmember Misakowski, and the city attorney will explain the need to make the findings.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think most people know about the shooting that happened yesterday. The picture of what's happening in that shooting at the daycare center is just coming to unfold. There are still questions that remain, and this motion asks that the Los Angeles Police Department and Fire Department brief the council on Friday morning in order to help deter other future incidents, and therefore the council would need to make the findings that the need to act arose after the posting of the agenda and that there is an immediate need to act.
Do we have the findings? Prepare the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
I know. All right, we have the matter before us. My understanding that the individual surrendered to the FBI.
Yeah, I understand. They're on, our officers are on the way to Las Vegas to bring him back. I'm not going to be able to be here, but I seconded the motion. I just want to take this opportunity to commend and thank the police department and fire department who acted in exemplary fashion yesterday. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to the scene until we finished with Sunshine Canyon yesterday afternoon, but I can tell you that the way they handled the matter was really very, very competent, and I want to commend the police officers and firemen for their terrific actions. I also want to give my offer of help or whatever we can give to the parents of the children that were injured and shot, and the other parents as well. And our heart goes out to them, and I think there's a message in here that we need to be more wary of safety, not just for children, but I will tell you that as long as there are people who are criminally insane out there, and by the way, I understand that he has been connected to a hate group in Washington, that we need to be more vigilant and protective of our families, our children, and perhaps it's time this council chambers was made a little more safe as the Board of Supervisors has done.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Miskowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to echo, in fact, the motion indicates what Mr. Brinson said, that the police department and the fire services acted yesterday with a lot of sensitivity and compassion and immediately taking control of the situation in an appropriate manner, helping to alleviate panic and other kinds of things, particularly dealing in a very sensitive nature with children. I think we will benefit by the report on Friday, not only in terms of what the facts and the update of what they're still gathering might be, but also just learning and understanding what and how they are seeing today in impacts of this nature in terms of just setting up a command center, particularly a multi-force. We had ATF out there, we had the FBI, and I think we might learn some things in general from how they are responding and what we, with the media and with others who are out there, need to understand and know about this kind of incident, not in general, as well as how we need to handle the deployment and reaction to it. So I think we will benefit. I'm asking this to be a special order of business at 10:30 so that we can hear from the chiefs.
Thank you, Councilwoman. We do have the item before us. Madam Clerk, please open the roll and tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
That item is approved. Next item.
This is the time for comments from the public on non-agenda items.
Okay, we do have one speaker's card, Mr. Larry Ross. Mr. Ross?
My name is Larry Ross. Today, I'm gonna try to be brief. I just heard some information that's really stunned at me. How the FBI, other law enforcement agency, arrived at a scene of a crime, and the manner in which they handled the matter so competently. I'm wondering, is there a criteria that must be met before those in law enforcement help not just some, but all our individuals who are in need of their help? Do you have to wait until a crime is committed before they act, or a part of their service to the communities include preventing crimes before they occur? Because I have been coming here since 1997, bringing to this council attention the abuses and violations that has taken place against me and my family. But yet, those in law enforcement, those in government have seen fit to sit back and pretend they know nothing, they hear nothing, or they see nothing. But yet you hear about the courageousness of those in law enforcement when it comes to combating crime. Now I'm wondering as well, does law enforcement place a color on those in whom they help or those in whom they do not help? I have reported crimes dealing with attempts against my life. I have reported crimes against my family, against me when it concerning false imprisonments, false arrests, subjected to life and health endangerments, and how I am constantly being harassed. My privacy is being invaded but yet nothing has been done. By those officers going to that scene of that alleged crime, it's in violation of my constitutional rights, because the Constitution says that all should have an equal share in the law. In other words, all have the right to police protection. Not just one individual, not just one group of individuals, but all individuals, all citizens of the United States government should have equal protection of the law. And by them going there and not giving attention to my matter, it's violation of my constitutional rights. So you sit there and brag about the wonderful job law enforcement is doing, yet you sit there and pretend not to hear what I am saying. There must be a reason for that. I have made known to this council body of a conspiracy. And obviously this council body is involved in the conspiracy. Because if you have knowledge of a crime or wrongdoing, and yet you sit back and try to cover it up, that's exactly what you're doing, participating in crimes. That does label you as being an illegitimate body of governmental officials. But this matter shall come to court. There shall be subpoenas issued, and you will have to explain your positions. It's not going to do raising the fence my mind or my mounds. Because the law says when a crime is committed, those who have the responsibility to check into such matters should do so, irregardless of the color of a person's skin, his status in the society. But yet you have seen fit to ignore what the law has to say. And I keep hearing things about clans. I could care less about clans, Ku Klux Klans or county clans, because they are not the backbone of this nation. The U.S. Constitution is the backbone of this nation. That was the document that brought this nation to existence, not the Ku Klux Klans, not any group of individuals. That is the highest body that we can appeal to, the document known as the United States Constitution. That is what this nation is founded upon. That is the document that should be used to judge who gets justice and who does not get justice, and not race. This nation has created a tremendous debt, and that debt must be paid. Act stupid.
Okay, the public comment period is closed. Next item.
Motions for posting and referral.
If there's no objection, unanimous vote.
You have an
Next
excuse on the desk. Councilmember Burnson requests to be excused Wednesday, August 18th, to leave at 10:45. City business meets council policy.
When? What day?
Wednesday, August 18th.
Okay. There's no objection, unanimous vote. Next item.
That clears the desk, Mr. President.
Okay, do we have anything else before us? Adjourning motions? Mr. Padilla is here just in time to, okay. If we don't have any adjourning motions, we're going to, okay, well, all right, Mrs. Walters.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask the council to adjourn in memory of Hilario Jauregui. I'm sorry to mispronounce the name. It's Jauregui, and perhaps someone could help me with that pronunciation. He passed away on Friday, August 6th. He was the grandfather of Evangelina Sanchez, one of my staff members. He was 89 years old. His wife, he survived by his wife, Bernardina, 10 children, 38 grandchildren, 47 great-grandchildren, and 6 great-great-grandchildren.
Mr. President, I'd like to
Mr.
second that motion. Ms. Sanchez is a constituent of mine and was very supportive during my campaign, and I know the family. The family is a...
You got all the family to vote for you.
I will tell you that there was a huge block of votes, yes. But it is Hilario Jauregui.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Okay. All right, call the roll. The council is adjourned.